Hello everybody, Captain Marty Brill here on Monday, March the 16th. A little gloomy and a little rainy, a little windy yesterday, but we had some fishing on Saturday, especially offshore. Not a whole lot to report other than that, but I'll be back in just a moment to tell you what did happen. At the end of today's podcast, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some tournaments coming up so you can start getting your tournament hat on. Won't be long now as we roll into summer, so stay right where you are and I'll be right back.
At Fishing Unlimited on the Nags Head Manio Causeway, not only can you get stocked up with all the bait, tackle, and amenities necessary to fish, but you can also be your own captain. That's right. At Fishing Unlimited, you can rent one of their spacious pontoon boats to go fishing, crabbing, dolphin watching, or just to cruise the Roanoke Sound. It's family fun at its finest. Half-day and full-day rentals are available. Be your own captain at Fishing Unlimited on the Nags Head Manio Causeway. When lines are tight and the bite is on, you need fuel that keeps up with the action. Introducing Sport Fisher, the drink built for anglers and adventurers who never quit chasing the next big catch. With bold flavor and serious kick, Sport Fisher keeps you energized from the first cast to the last run offshore. Whether you're chasing tuna, marlin, largemouth bass, or just for a great day on the water, crack open a can and fuel the catch. Grab yours today and learn more at sportfisherenergy.com. Sport Fisher, because legends don't run out of energy.
So we did have a little bit of action offshore, and we have a new species that we haven't seen much of, which is not new overall, but new this year. So we know about the bluefin tunas, and we'll talk about them first. The bluefins were caught, and there were fish that were in keepers. So normally, if you're new to my podcast or new to Outer Banks offshore fishing, you say, oh, okay, so there's a size limit. They got to be a certain size or bigger before you can keep one, but that's not exactly how it works. It's just the opposite of that. They actually have to be below a certain size to keep one. So that size is 73 inches. That's a 200-pound bluefin tuna. Now, when you think about it a little bit, there are a lot of bluefin tuna. They've been out there all winter long. There's a lot of 300, 400, and 500-pounders swimming around. They're being caught too, but they have to be released. The commercial market the quota was met a long time ago, so there's no commercial market for those. Got to let all of them go. But the ones you can keep, they caught some nice ones. And a 200-pounder standing on his nose while you're holding its tail, that's a picture that you'll give to your grandkids someday, but you're going to keep one of those per day. So the whole thing is you release as many as you want. I believe the state of North Carolina will give you a citation, the good kind of citation, one you want to put in a frame, put on the wall, get a nice picture of it alongside the boat. You get the battle of a lifetime. If pulling on a fish and bending the rod is what you want to do, you're in the right place if you're on the Outer Banks. Keep in mind that during this bluefin season, which let's just say from January 1st till Easter, and then some probably, we have people, it's a destination fishing location. We have people come from all over the world, South Africa, Japan, all over Europe. We get a lot of people from the West Coast that come for this bluefin bite. And we get a lot of tackle companies that are testing their gear. I mean, this one group that comes down and books 30 days or more, they're catching 500-pound tuna, catching and releasing 500-pound tuna on spinning tackle. But it's not the spinning tackle you use in the surf. It's very, very high tech. They can put as much pressure on that tuna as you can put on a blue marlin with a Pin 80 or a big Shimano with a lot of drag. It's really impressive. And then in some cases, they're throwing a plug at the tuna, a popping plug, like you use for a bass on a golf course pond. I mean, and that plug is $150. So anyway, they're playing the game at a very high level, and it's been really, really good. But you got to deal with the weather. And if you're going to book something like that, you definitely need to have an alternative day, a backup day. Those guys will set up, let's just say the one group I know that fished with Ned Ashby for years on the Sea Breeze, they would come down and take all of his open days, and they knew good and well they were going to get blown out a lot. And they just stayed for a month. They rented a house and they lived the dream of catching world-class fish right here on the Outer Banks. And we'll do it again during the marlin season when our granders, our 1,000-pound marlin are caught. We'll do it again when the big drum bite is on. We'll do it again when the speckled trout rebound from the cold stun event. We have world-class fishing. And you need to come here, shop at your local tackle shops, get all the local knowledge you can. That doesn't cost a thing. And come on down and do a little fishing with us. You're going to have to wait wait just a little bit on the surf and pier report. The surf, I got water temperatures from the low 40s to the high 50s yesterday. That high 50 thing is new, and that might mean that we're just about on the verge of getting some surf fishing going on. There's only been a couple of black drum over the last few days, and that is really all I've heard about. So we'll take a little break right here. I'll come back and talk to you about the backcountry, which is very quiet, but I'll also talk to you about those tournaments that I mentioned in the early part of our report. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Ready to enjoy the Outer Banks the way it was meant to be enjoyed? Then you're ready to take the whole family to Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head. Start with a walk on the 1,000-foot-long pier to watch the sunrise, or a reel in the catch of the day. Some of the best fishing on the East Coast is right here at Jeanette's Pier. Plus, Jeanette's Pier plays host to various events throughout the year, including professional surfing events. For the best day you'll have on the Outer Banks, go to Jeanette'sPier.net or give us a call at 252-255-1501. Jeanette's Pier, milepost 16 and a half, Nags Head.
I'm not seeing much on the backcountry report other than the catfish bite seems to be really good. You know, we don't talk about them very much, but when you get over in the inland bodies of water and up around Edenton, Elizabeth City, catfishing is a big deal. It's a big deal up in Virginia too. And I don't know my catfish very well, but I think these are the blue cats. I've talked to some people, as far as eating goes, they're supposedly really, really good to eat. I don't know if I've ever eaten one or not. I love catfish in a restaurant, but I don't know where they came from. And I don't ask any questions either. But there's some catfishing going on. That is the only thing I've heard of. The rockfish season closed now, and not much effort being done in that regard either. And we're going to have a little bit cooler week this week. We'll wait. Next warm spell we get, things ought to really start busting open. Here's something to put on your calendar, though. 3 tournaments to think about. The Ocracoke Invitational Surf Fishing Tournament is going to be our first one on the calendar, April 29th, 30th, and 31st. And then the Hatteras Village Offshore Open, May 12th through the 16th. I'll be there for that. That is a lot of fun. There'll be 50 plus boats, and we'll kick off the offshore season. Last year it was very competitive, and you know, life in Hatteras is just laid back and chill. Anyway, middle of May, come on down to Hatteras. It's open to the public. You can walk the docks, look at the boats, do things of that nature. It's all put on by the Hatteras Village Civic Association. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I'll be down with Laura Young. I'll also be with Laura Young down at the Marlin Club, where she is the Grand Poopah. I think she's the king or queen or whatever she would be down there. She's the boss. The Hatteras Marlin Club, June the 21st through the 25th is the Hatteras Marlin Club Tournament. That is a private tournament, a private club, but it is a prestigious tournament to win. It's a bragging rights tournament, billfish tournament, offshore fishing. You can walk the docks, but most of the events are limited to the club members and their guests, but it's really, really cool. It's the tournament that kicked off my career on the Outer Banks in 1975. Some of those same people I fished with back then are still fishing that tournament. So I'm looking forward to both of those. So we got 3 tournaments on the calendar, and there'll be more as we get into summertime. I'll let you know what's going on. Meanwhile, and hope you get a few things done. Play a little bit of Monopoly, some cards while the wind blows. That was some of the best memories I ever had, was being in Hatteras in the spring. The wind blowing 2, 3, 4 days. Couldn't get out. And those people down there just have a good time. We played a lot of Monopoly. We played a lot of cards. And there was one time we even played a little bit of Twister. So anyway, I can't tell you that whole story. But anyway, I hope you have a great day. May the good Lord bless you richly.